Hello everybody, my name is RagingRaptor and I welcome you to a new World of Tanks video. Today I want to do it a little bit differently. Why, you might ask? Well, several news came out lately about the 9.20 update. And as you probably see from the title, I want to discuss if World of Tanks is dead. Because frankly, the last couple of patches were not that impactful in the matter of playability, fun on the game, and yeah. Personally, as you probably know from my channel, I play World of Tanks for a long time and rather a lot in quotation marks. I have 33,000 battles on the game and, well, I played since 5 years, I think. So I got through a whole bunch of things where KV1 was only the KV and was a KV2 on tier 5, where the IS-4 was a tier 9 tank, and so on. And back in the days where TDs were actually good. No, just kidding now. But other things, well, things have changed. We got new physics, we were finally able to overturn our vehicle, which is a good or bad. We got tier 10 TDs, we got tier 10 artillery pieces, medium tanks, and tier 10 light tanks in the meanwhile, as well as a completely overhauled artillery mechanic. And again, I have to say, personally, I thought that the game got staller and staller. Obviously, a lot of went into that. I managed to grind a lot of tier 10 tanks. I right now only need all the tier 10 light tanks, 2 artillery pieces, M48 pattern, and the new WZ. Yes, that's about, and the Panzerkampfwagen 7, but that's about it. And all those grinds, like sometimes get stale, like the Emil 2. Okay, I forgot the Krankenwagen, Krankenwagen, Kranwagen, how you like to call it. I forgot about that one, but those grinds started to annoy me. Like, they get boring, they get, yeah, it's always the same, and many tanks play the same-ish. And that's why back in the holiday season, around Christmas, New Year's Eve, I was super happy and again hyped with the game with the introduction of the Swedish TDs. I grinded that line and I had a lot of fun with it. And, well, nothing new happened. Well, artillery came, the new artillery, and the new matchmaker. And frankly, the new matchmaker is, in my opinion, not good. I say it like this. The 357 had, like, the 357 matchmaking is a great idea, but it's simply stupid made when you have 15 versus 15 1-tier battles. And those are frustrating, in my opinion. I simply don't like to play tier 10 only games every day, single game, if I once manage to play tier 10 when I feel like it again. And same as when I play tier 8 tanks in a platoon. If you're in a platoon, you're doomed to be flop tier and it's getting annoying. And that's why, in my opinion, the game went downhill. And I see it a lot on Reddit, I see it a lot on player, I just see on articles that World of Tanks is not the game it used to be. Like, it doesn't have so many people anymore. So I personally think, this is my personal opinion, this is why I want to do this discussion, is that 9.20 is either the downfall of World of Tanks or the uprise again. And I have 3 points which I want to talk about. I know a little bit of an introduction here. If you kept it already till here, thanks very much. And, well, first a little bit of a preview of 9.20 and why I think it can be the turning point and the point of no return. First of all, a lot of vehicle rebalances. Sadly, not everything is covered here, which I find it a little bit funky because there are other things, but we come back to that later. Improvements in the artillery stun mechanics, which I think, yes, this is good, and a new tree. And this is one of the things which I think this could actually, like, make a spark again to ignite the flame which I had for World of Tanks. It's a new line, it's a TD line, and those TDs are not the worst. Like, they are not the best snipers, but I think in the current meta they are decently fitted with being something like a Jagdpanzer, a Sturmgeschütze tank which is fairly mobile and has good enough upper front armor, but you need to hide your lower plate, especially the tier 10 tank, the WZ 113G FT. And I think this is definitely something which can help us again, because it's finally again a tank line which is not coming around Christmas. It's finally again a TD line. It's finally again a new complete tank tree. And many people said that, yeah, it's like that this tank tree would not come to the European server or all other servers in China, because there are many tanks which are a little bit not real, or paper projects, many paper projects. So yeah, I understand that, but in the end it's an arcade game, so why not? And I'm happy about this, because those tanks look fun to play in my opinion, and well, they're not suited for the current meta, which is heavy tanks and heavy tanks only. Might bring a little bit of an addition. Second up is the new 15 versus 15 battle mode, 30 versus 30 battle mode. And I already see that they changed some things here, because I was able to play it on this 30 versus 13 grand battle mode on the test, on the sandbox, so it was quite interesting to play nevertheless. And I think this is also something which makes the matchmaker a little bit better, because it takes 60 tier 10 tanks out of the queue, making maybe tier 8 only battles more likely, or tier 9 top tier battles more likely. I think this is not that bad, and especially it's a new battle mode, because well, we have encounter, we have attack, and we have the normal gameplay mode, and well, all of those modes are really, well, we know them. And another good thing is, if you look at this map, it looks like an open map, and this is what we're missing right now. We have Paris, we have Pilsen, we have Kharkov, we have, well, I don't want to say Himmelsdorf, but Himmelsdorf as well, but it's an old map, so I don't really have a problem with that. But those three maps, Paris, Kharkov and Pilsen, those maps are frustrating, because they are all feeling so corridorish. And tanks which are which want to put DPM out and don't really have good armor, like Streetswagen, have problems on that map, like light tanks have problems on those maps, and many other TDs and other things. Those maps are purely good for heavy tanks, and they're like a small bucket of tank maps where you can flank decently. So I think this could actually bring something good again, because this heavy meta stinks in my opinion. And by gosh, freaking you, Murasor, for bringing Type 5 heavy completely over the top and Mouse over the top. They're also freaking stupid tanks, seriously. And well, HD mouse, but that's not really important anyway. Well, the preview is a new tank tree and a new map, or a new game mode with a new map. So this could actually be something which makes this game again better. And next up is something which I think is so important for an online competitive game, and this is rebalances of vehicles. And seriously, wargaming took ages to rebuff or re-nerf or rebalance the E5's Capoa. Since it had the HD model, it was so stupidly broken frontally, and I think it took 1.5 years to rebalance this tank and giving him again weak spots. And I think this should not happen. We have so many updates, I felt, where legit 0 to none rebalances were made. And this is something really not good in my opinion for a competitive game. And I think wargaming should step up a notch and say that premium tanks should also be able to rebalance as long as they're still in sale. And this is, I want to take an example from another video game, which, well, is called League of Legends. It has not much to do with, oh, well, hello, that's a little bit of a mistake by me. I know it has not many resemblance to World of Tanks. It's a MOBA, and this is action multiplayer or massive multiplayer online tank game. But what Riot Games is doing is that every single patch they bring out, they now I need to find a little bit of an example. They make adjustments to different champions, and I think this is really important. Let me see. Yeah, sure, they bring also some complete making new champions and completely redo them. But what what in my opinion is really important is that those patches they push out. Every single time there is a huge section of different champions being rebalanced, items being rebalanced. And well, this is of 7.14, the second latest patch. As you can see, it goes down till here. I had to half of it is purely changes to champions and items. And the newest update, well, this is a little bit of talk about a new champion. And where are the patch notes? Damn it. Screwed over. Once and again. Let's do it like this. 7.15 update. And here again, it will be a huge list of changes. Those are all again changes to champions. Go down, and well, here again, half of the full site is just changes to items and champions. And this is why this game is evolving. Like currently they also have something which is called a tank meta, where like heavily armored champions are strong. Sure, this is not good, but before that there were assassins which like super swift damage dealers which do like burst damage, were super common. Like they make a lot of meta shifts during a year or during updates, and those updates coming rather frequently, and this is something which Wargame needs to work on. And this is why I also think 9.20 is a turning point, because here we get a rather larger scale of rebalance of many different tanks. And I think Wargaming needs to step up a notch and do this more frequently, more often. It should also look at tier 7, tier 6, tier 5, and not only tier 10 and a little bit of tier 9, a little bit of tier 8. They need to look at the whole perspective. I still don't know. They once said in the sandbox server that they want to completely redo everything and rebalance everything when it comes to penetration, armor, and so on. I made a video with the Foch 155 there being completely changed, which actually came in this patch in a slightly different version. And yes, I really think this is something Wargame needs to do. Wargaming needs to do a lot more of changes in general to tanks. Shift the meta, not making everything the same. And I think it is a decentish start. T44, well, not the strongest tank. T54 getting armor buffs, well, and gun buffs, What I do like though is that the French tanks getting a completely overhaul. Like the top tier tanks, the MX-30 and the MX-30B get shifted from sniper tanks to a little bit more DPM heavy brawlers with good turret armor. So that's definitely something which is great. And second of all, the whole tank destroyer line will get redone or revamped. And this is also something which I think is really good, what they decided to do here. Not only do they make them more unique, they don't have, well, they still have the 120mm gun up from tier 8, but with a free shot autoloader, which I personally think is a great idea. We have not many free shot autoloaders in the game on higher tiers, and it should be more of that. I'm really fond of the idea of a 2-shot autoloader, but that's my personal opinion. And well, the tier 10 Foch gets replaced with another tier 10 Foch, which is the Foch 50B. And it has a 6-shot autoloader, which has a really strong burst. And this is, first of all, a really good idea to change something completely about a tank. And another good thing is that Wargaming decided to not kill the AMX 50 Foch 155. They are going to buff it slightly, ever so slightly, giving it a better side armor and a little bit better of angles and degreases for the gun traverse. But they're making it a reward tank, like the Object 260, the Object 907, the M60, the VK 7201K, and the 121B. Though, like this, it will be a crew trainer, but won't give you more credits. And I think this is a really great step of Wargame. You don't need to grind for that tank if you have it already. You have still time to get the AMX 50 Foch 155, and you will keep it. And it will be something distinct when it comes to the AMX 50B. And the best thing is, because it has premium status, you can just take the AMX 50 Foch B, the new tier 10 TD cruise, and put it into the old AMX 50 Foch 155. And I think wargaming should really consider to do this more often, and presumably because of one particular tank in the whole game. And I think many British people will be in delight if they would do this, and obviously it's the Chieftain Mark 6. Many times people were talking about FV215B to be a tank which, well, it doesn't even have a HD model yet, and well, which is a tank which is made up tank by wargaming. Nevertheless, it's not a bad tank. It's a really strong DPM heavy tank with a rather strong turret but poor hull. And I personally think that wargaming doing this now with the Foch 155, making the reward tank and putting it in a new tank could actually be a good news for people which want to achieve the Mark 6. But why exactly, you might ask? Well, what about wargaming doing the same thing, making the FV215B a reward tank and putting the Chieftain Mark 6 on the top? In my opinion, this could be actually an so-called a compromise which would be good for both parties. Wargaming, well, sure, you would need to grind up the line if you didn't have. You might need to spend premium, you might need to spend gold, free XP in it, and the others which already have will finally get their Chieftain Mark 6. On the other hand, they could do the same what they did with the WZ111-5A, making it just an alternative tier 10 tank, which I would also not say is a bad idea. And once again, I think this could be actually something for a pro. And yeah, and now we are down at the future category which I want to talk about. If wargaming is keeping this up, bringing updates rather frequently and with improvements and rebalances, especially shifting things around. I don't want to play all the time heavy meta. I want to play sometimes a medium meta or a TD meta. And it's okay to make failures. It's okay to see that you've screwed up a whole meta and you need to redo it. But you can solve that with an update and revert some changes, how to do it now with the mouse. And thanks God, nerfing the Type 4 and Type 5 heavy's armor, making it a little bit more vulnerable again. And some of which they didn't show is that the British tanks apparently also get some turret buffs. Again, a welcome buff. Sure, tier 8 tanks are still in the worst gutters like KB5, T34-3 and so on. But nevertheless, I think we are on a step towards something better. And I have to say, in the conclusion, is World of Tanks dead? Right now, I have to say, they are making changes for a better game. They are working harder. And they are finally listening to their customers, which we are. We all are the ones which play the game. Because on the Supertest, there was the idea to nerf the Batchat. I personally approved that idea. I thought it is a good idea because the Batchat is a better tier 10 light tank than the MX-30-105. And many people were outraged. And right now, Wargaming did the opposite. They didn't nerf the Batchat, they left it how it is and they completely swift it out of the patch notes. So they're listening. And the same goes with the Foch. I didn't know where they cut it off, that they said that they listened to us. But I think it is a good idea that they also try to think, hey, the AMX-50 Foch is in the game for a rather long time. It used to be strong and it gets crappier and crappier. At least give it this tank to the people which still have it or have grinded it. And yes, in conclusion, I hope the game is not dead with 9.20 and I'm looking forward to 9.21. If we get a new meta in the 30 versus 30 mode, if we get more rebalances. A new tech tree may be in winter again, but hey, it's a new tech tree again. I'm up for it. Well, almost 20 minutes, guys. I just babbled out a little bit. As you can see, I didn't really make notes. These were my notes if you want to see. The preview, the rebalance, future, and the conclusion. And I hope you enjoyed it. If so, let me know in the comment section below. And thanks for listening through everything which I just said. And please tell me, what is your opinion? What do you think should change? Is 9.20 the death of Wargaming's World of Tanks? and why do you think it is, and why do you think it isn't? If we get a lot of, what is it called? A lot of comments, I might do a video and review them, what you think. So it's not one-sided. I try to, sure, I might be a little bit hyped, and well, I obviously, yeah, whatever. What I want to say is, I don't want to be a fanboy. I want to try to show an objective view, but I think other people are better at that. So let me know in the comment section below. But otherwise, thank you for listening to 20 minutes of my brabbling about World of Tanks future. And as always, good luck on the battlefield.